I should be more excited about this than I actually am. Once I get over the craziness of the last 3 days, I'm sure I'll get really excited to watch Becker for the first time. But there were a lot of problems with this, and it may be the worst box set experience I've ever had. And I have notes. I will go through those because it's only fair. If I'm going to say this is the worst box set experience, I need to be able to back it up. But I have a solution, or a potential solution that worked for me. Many people on Amazon, I got this from eBay, I need to clarify that just so the information's clear, but I bought it brand new, it was properly sealed. So I'd imagine the seller on eBay got it from the same place that Amazon does. It is a Region 1 import, technically, but maybe not, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. But there are many people on Amazon in the reviews who have had the same problems. The packaging itself is so chaotic, and we'll look at that in a moment. And so many people have reported that so many discs don't work. And for the most part, that's reflected in my notes. But as I said, for me at least, I did find a solution. So we'll take a very quick look at the inside of this. There's not that much to look at. It's not full of details or anything, but actually the information is not too bad, but you'll see how crazy it is in a moment. And one of the biggest complaints that people have about this is that the packaging is really messy. And it is. First of all, the front, I like it. It's a pretty decent design. The back has a decent amount of information there. As I said, I haven't seen this before, so I'm really looking forward to watching it. 129 episodes, in theory, and some special features there as well. And as you can see here, this is exceptionally important. It's NTSC Region 1. Remember that, because it becomes, I don't know why I can't talk, it's been a very long weekend. It becomes exceptionally significant in a little bit. And that is how I received it. And again, I read the reviews on Amazon. So many people have reported the same problem. Almost all of the little plastic bits were completely snapped off. As you can see from the packaging, it hasn't been dented. It's not been, well, I mean, it might have been thrown around when it was being delivered, but there is no damage to the exterior, which means that these are so flimsy and so pathetic. There is absolutely no excuse. Also, as you can see here, this is attached to the left-hand side. It is actually attached. This one didn't break. Credit where it's due. But there's no reason for this, because as you'll see on the back, there's plenty of room. There's room to put it there. So the layout is just absolutely crazy. I did see in some of the reviews that some people, and I don't know if this was maybe an earlier release, but some people had a disc that was attached to the back on this side with something sticky, and it left residue on the disc, and that caused damage. So thankfully, at least, that wasn't the case here. As you saw on the other side, we have a rundown of seasons 4 to 6, and then here we have the titles for seasons 1 to 3 with the episode titles for each disc. The names are also, if you can see this, I don't know if the camera will focus, it's a bit shiny, but the names of the episodes are on each disc, which I do really like. I won't go through it all, but as you can see, it's just absolutely messy. There are some more shards there. Most of them have fallen out as I've gone through it. But it's just, it's horrendous. The actual packaging itself, and this bit I think is meant to come out. Whoops. This is meant to come out so you can, I guess, handle it more easily, but it's kind of just permanently out now. It's also a little fiddly to close once you're finished with it, but it's not too bad. And I kind of wish the packaging was the least of my problems. So here we come to my notes, and I will explain what's in front of me. But basically, I have 2 USB DVD players. One is permanently set to Region 2. One is permanently set to Region 1 because I buy a lot of imports. I've never had any problems with them. Everything always works fine. So I thought, well, of course, this is going to be the same. And I put the first disc in. And it worked. It was fine for the first 5 episodes. But then what I did, and I'll explain what the red means in a moment, but I went through every single disc and noted down the problems. So disc 1, episodes 6 and 7 did not work. Disc 2 for some reason was perfect, as was season 4, disc 1. And then we have so many episodes where it says some, it means that some of the episode was playable, but some of it wasn't. As you can see, pretty much every single disc was having problems. I'd understand if none of it worked. I mean, I wouldn't understand because my laptop should be able to play it with the Region 1 player, but at least I'd say, okay, maybe there's something in the coding that's stopping it from working. But the fact that 83 out of 129 episodes had problems was just absolutely baffling. Down here with the 2 season 6 discs, it only recognised 1 episode out of the 6 on the first disc and 2 out of 7 on the second disc. I don't know which episodes they are because they weren't numbered properly. It just said that, here is an episode or here are 2 episodes. But other than that, it didn't recognise any of the others. And then I had an idea. In my absolute desperation, it took me 2 days because I was obviously doing other things, but it took me 2 days to go through every disc, Region 1, and recognise all of the problems. Sometimes I would try and open an episode, the player would crash, I'd have to go into Task Manager and shut it down, take the disc out, put it back in again, for pretty much every single episode. And then I got an idea to try it in my Region 2 player. And it worked. And this is where the red comes in. Initially, I was going to start marking all of the ones that worked. So the 6th episode worked, the 7th episode worked, and then it turns out that actually just all of them worked. So I can play this NTSC Region 1 DVD, not in my Region 1 player, but in my Region 2 player. And that shouldn't be a thing. However, I looked into it, and I downloaded this thing called DVD Decryptor. It's apparently really old, they don't update it anymore, but it could tell me what region the DVDs are programmed to. And apparently, and now I don't know the validity of this, but it got the information from somewhere. I put the discs in, it read them, I spot checked a couple of them. And these Becker DVDs are coded to regions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. And what this means, if I'm not mistaken, is that they are region free. They will play on any region player as long as it recognises NTSC, which my USB DVD players do, my laptop does, absolutely no problems. So that still doesn't explain why it didn't work on Region 1. It absolutely should have done. And as I said, there are a lot of reviews on American Amazon of people saying, well, half of the DVDs didn't even play. So my advice would be, and it's unreasonable to recommend this, I don't think this is a recommended, or an accepted rather, recommendation. Also just focusing back on that there, just to confirm, it is NTSC1. But yeah, I don't think that this is acceptable for this to be the solution if you have bought this in the States and it doesn't work on your Region 1 NTSC player. But if you have access to a Region 2 player, give it a go. It might work. That being said, it might not. And also, if you're in the UK, it doesn't mean it will definitely work. There are people on UK Amazon who reported saying it's not for the UK. Amazon, if you're unaware of this, Amazon will sometimes list box sets like this, and they won't make it very obvious that it's Region 1, that it's not compatible with most UK DVD players, most Region 2 players. And there are people, of course, in the reviews saying this, that it's not compatible. And I guess what that means is that they maybe tried to play it in a regular DVD player, one attached to a television, which is unlikely to be able to play NTSC. Or it could just mean that it's a tremendous fluke for me and it's not really logical that it works with my Region 2 one. But again, if it's region free and my laptop and DVD player can manage NTSC, then I guess it makes sense that it works. It still doesn't make sense that the Region 1 option is very, very broken. So after 2 days, I did find a solution, and I can confirm that I can fully watch the entire box set, no problems, using my Region 2 USB DVD player attached to the laptop. if you're in the States and you've bought this, and as many people have reported, a lot of the DVDs don't work, a lot of the discs don't work, if you can, try it on another region. But again, I don't think that's acceptable. I don't think that that's fair or a reasonable expectation. If you buy it NTSC1, you expect it to work. So I've potentially found a solution for some people. It's taken me 3 days to go through this in its entirety. I have seen so much of this show, despite the fact I've never seen it before. It's been a very intense experience. Although I did discover some guest stars, some cameos that I didn't know were in it, and I'm very much looking forward to that. So I'm going to give it a few days before I start watching this, because I need to distance myself from this absolute chaos. But there is definitely something, based on my experience and those of the many reviews on Amazon, there is something definitely wrong with the manufacturing of this. But it looks like, at least based on my experience, it looks like it works completely fine on a Region 2 player, as long as it's NTSC compatible rather than PAL or PAL. Again, if you're in the States, which is where this is manufactured, it's completely unreasonable to ask anybody to buy this and then find access to Region 2. My USB DVD player, I think, was about £10. One of the greatest inventions ever. It's so brilliant, and because I have two of them, one permanently on Region 1, one on Region 2, I was able to fiddle around with this and find a solution. Do I recommend this? Would you recommend this? It's been an absolutely horrendous experience, and I haven't even started watching it yet. If you are willing to take the gamble, give it a go. As I said, there are many reviews of people having the same problems as me, and hopefully I've found a solution that will work for some people. And this is also not easy to get hold of in the UK, or very cost effective. I managed to buy it for about £25 on eBay, as I said, brand new. On Amazon, it's about double that. So imagine how irritated I'd be if I'd paid for it from Amazon. That being said, I'd probably be able to get a refund from Amazon. But by the sounds of it, the problems would be in every copy that I received. So it's a gamble. I don't know if I recommend it based on the show, but I love Ted Danson, so I'm going to assume that I'll enjoy at least part of it. But in terms of the box set experience, I'm very stressed. It's been a very, very stressful weekend. But I got there in the end. I found a solution in the end. I hope this is helpful to anybody who's maybe bought this and has the same frustration, because it shouldn't be this messy. And it shouldn't be this messy for this many people. If it was just me, I'd chalk it up to having just a faulty box set. Sometimes things will go wrong. Also, the discs look fine. I can't really show you because obviously it will reflect, but none of my discs that I saw had scratches or marks on. There didn't appear to be any physical defects with the discs themselves. And the fact that Region 1 barely works kind of implies there's something wrong with the inside of it, rather than damage to the discs themselves. Proceed with caution. I hope I enjoy it after all of this. I hope this helps anybody. Obviously, asking somebody to switch to Region 2 if they only have a Region 1 player, it's not a reasonable thing to ask. But if you are able to, give it a go. I hope it works. I hope it helps fix any broken discs. Fingers crossed I end up enjoying the show.